Okay, before we move on to episode 2, first I need to clarify something. Most of Rise's episodes are actually just two 11-minute episodes in one episode. And usually for special episodes, we'll get a full 22-minute episode. Everyone understand? Cool, let's begin. Episode 2A, Origami Tsunami, is a really great improvement over the first episode. This episode begins with the trolls just kind of deciding that they're gonna be heroes now. Just out of the blue, they're just watching a show called Jujutsu, and, they just decide they want to be like him and be heroes. Now, the turtles just deciding at the beginning of the episode to start being crime fighters does feel a bit contrived, but I don't hate it, honestly. It gives me the vibes that these are just teenagers that just kind of sporadically make decisions without really thinking it through first, as we see in the episode. Also, them wanting to follow in the footsteps of this Jujutsu character that they watch on TV is actually going to end up being pretty important for a later episode. But anyways, the trolls decide to start their crime-fighting careers by stopping some paper thieves, which seems easy at first, but is actually harder than they expected. One thing I want to highlight about this episode is that we see the early stages of Leo's transition into the new leader, which won't happen yet, but it's interesting seeing the early signs of it. Like him supporting his brothers when they think they failed, or him coming up with an idea to actually catch the paper thieves by opening up their own paper store. But they don't actually have any paper, so they just use pepperoni. After calling April to help with customer service, the paper thieves end up robbing from this place too, but luckily thanks to a tracker Donnie put on the pepperoni, well, multiple trackers let's say, they were able to find out the base of operations for the paper thieves, when it's revealed that they're actually the Rise version of the Foot Clan, which for now are just two dudes, Foot Lieutenant and Foot Brute. However, their numbers start to grow once we see what they stole this paper for, as they use it to make a bunch of foot soldiers made out of paper. There's actually a really interesting idea, since most of the time we see the foot soldiers as humans or robots, but never magical paper things. And they get pretty creative with the use of these foot ninja, even making one giant one made completely out of paper. Despite that though, with the use of mystic powers and the sprinkler system, they are able to defeat them. And the turtles celebrate, even though none of this soggy paper is going to return to the store owners. But oh well. Overall, this episode's pretty good. It's a good example of showing what the 11-minute format can do, and it feels surprisingly better paced than the first episode, which was 22 minutes. There, it felt like they had a lot of ground to cover in such a short amount of time. I mean, you look at a show like 2012 and that had a two-parter to cover everything they needed to do. But here in this episode, now that we know a bit about what these characters are like, we can just kind of have a fun adventure with them. Just a solid 8 out of 10. In terms of characterization, everyone acts as you would think, Leo obviously being the highlight for this episode. And this is also a pretty good introduction to the Foot Clan, being our second main antagonist for this season. In terms of fun facts for this episode, I don't have that many besides the fact that I think this is the only time we see April wearing her glasses like this, which is pretty interesting since this is the design they use for her figure. Another thing that I find interesting is that the fake paper shop that they opened is actually still open several episodes from now, which kind of gives me the headcanon that they still use this place occasionally, maybe to get some money or something else like that. Let's hope this momentum is kept up with the next episode.
Shut the fuck up!